Hey guys, we're here today with Maggie Rocket. She's with Iberia Bank.
Yes.
Maggie and I do some business together, so I thought she'd be a great resource to bring to you guys to talk about mortgage and home loans.
I'm excited.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
As a lifelong resident of Monroe and West Monroe and a full-time real estate agent, join me on this journey as we discuss real-world topics in real estate and take a deeper dive into what our community has to offer. I'm Brian Bindley, and this is why I love what I do. So let's talk about shopping for lenders. I know a question I get all the time is, Brian, I got this rate from this lender. I need to see if I can get a better rate. I'm going to go out and start shopping. So talk to me about shopping for lenders and what does that actually mean?
Well, I would say for most people, they think shopping for lenders is strictly about the rate.
Right.
They wait to hear what is the rate. And there are a lot of things that go into that. And I think a lot of things to consider when choosing a lender. One, on the front end, looking at lenders, find one that you feel comfortable asking questions to, one who calls you back, one who isn't scared to get, if there is stuff that needs correction, are they willing to work with you and spend the time to explain things? That's important. But when you're shopping for lenders and shopping for rates, there are some important questions I would ask. And one of those would be, are there discount points? Origination? What are the bank fees? You may receive something called a loan estimate from a lender once they've gotten your full application. And it shows what your rate would be. It shows all of the fees they estimate for the closing. And that's a great tool. And if you have multiple banks pull credit and take your application, they would provide you with this. If you're not looking to have your, credit run and you just want to see, you want to get an idea, you can call and tell them what your credit was when the other lender ran it, what purchase price you're looking for, and the down payment. And then, finding out what that rate is and asking, is this with discount points? Is there origination? What does your bank charge me for everything else? And if you can provide written fees from one lender to another, a lot of times they're happy to walk down and say, okay, this lender calls it this, we call it this,
right.
to help you
that
really
was my next question is how can someone compare fees to know that what is value and what is not? Because one of the things that I found is that company A versus company B, they're going to have basically the same fee, but it's going to be called something different, or that one fee is broken down in two different parts. So it looks like that origination fee is much cheaper, or they're not even charging me an origination fee. How is there like a simple way that it could be looked at, a bottom line to see where my value is?
Right. Well, so if you're looking to see what a bank is charging you, the sections I would pay attention to on a loan estimate or an itemized fee worksheet would be sections A and B. That's where you're going to see origination charges. That's what your lender's being paid for your loan. And then section B shows you those things you can't shop for, like your appraisal fee, if they're charging you for your credit report, tax monitoring fees, some other things that are necessary for your loan. And if they're charging those to you, you can really compare the cost in looking at those two sections.
Okay.
The rest of the loan estimate is going to be estimates for title fees and estimates for homeowners insurance and property taxes, which you're allowed to shop for your homeowners insurance and your title company. So those are more, I would say I wouldn't use those when I'm shopping for a lender. I would really look at sections A and B and the rate.
Okay. So when someone is shopping, how many people or how many lenders can they go sit down and have a conversation, have their credit run before there's an impact on them financially? Is there a number on their credit? Is there a number of times it can be pulled?
Typically, you're looking at a window. And again, I would say part of this has to do with a mix of credit, too. If you don't have a lot of open credit lines, I really do feel like there's a little bit more of an impact when you shop for your mortgage. But I would say if you're doing your shopping, you're handling it in a 10-day period.
Okay.
I would say it's considered one credit experience. You
Sure.
know, you're shopping for a rate. So I would try to do that. Now, if you shop for a rate in July and then in late July and then in August, you know, that's where you're going to see more of an impact. And all
Okay.
those lenders are going to be pulling their credit, you know, when you're talking to them, if that's what you ask them to do. And, you know, if you had a different lender that 2 weeks later were to pull your credit, the impact of those runs would be, you know, more visible at that point.
For traditional mortgages, you know, all your government loans, conventional loans, is it safe to say that most lending institutions offer roughly the same services? Most of your big bank and mortgage companies can pretty much do the same loan types. Is that a safe assumption in our market?
Yes, and I would say that there are, you know, there are lenders that specialize in more particular products. If there are mobile homes and you want,
Sure.
and you have a very particular need in that lending situation, although many lenders do mobile homes, there may be one particular lender
Sure.
that does that better.
If a borrower comes to you and they're asking for a product that you don't feel like you're going to be the best one, let's say for a mobile home, and do you have avenues to direct them to someone you think would serve them better?
Absolutely. You know, for particular product needs, I think the goal in talking to any borrower should definitely be what is your end goal? What do you
Right.
want? And if I don't have a product for that property, the property type, or you know, I know there's a lender that may have a lower credit score on that particular product.
Right.
That's I would encourage that as an option if they're talking to me and they need something that I can't provide them.
A lot of lenders are moving to the process of doing a lot of electronic stuff, electronic signatures. A lot of agents are doing that. But I do have a lot of customers that want that personalized service to where they can ink sign things, be able to walk into the office or schedule an appointment to sit down and talk through some of these. Do you still offer that service?
Absolutely. I would say with COVID-19, we saw more people who were previously averse to all of the electronic
Right.
becoming more comfortable with it. But I mean, as a general rule, I would say even when we have customers that love the electronic contact, we're still on the phone, we're still scheduling things, we're still, you know, we're happy to meet you in person. I have borrowers all the time that bring things by the bank, but they applied
Right.
online,
Sure.
you know, so, and it's fun. It's fun getting to meet them and chat with them in person. So we can do it a lot of different ways.
Now, you did mention that the borrower has the right to pick the closing attorney
Mm-hmm.
that they choose. So you do give them that option.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. One of the things that's important to me as an agent when I'm partnering up with lenders or making recommendations is finding someone who is willing to take the time to answer the phone or return calls or return emails. I believe the buying of a home should be a stress-free process. If you take a lot of the steps that Maggie has talked about on preparing yourself, giving all the information up front, it's going to make for a very stress-free process. But going through the process in general, sometimes questions can come up. Having a lender that will return your calls and answer those questions is really important. So I like to hear that that's part of your plan is just being very responsive with your communication. I found that to be
Absolutely.
very true for myself as well.
Good.
Thank you so much for taking the time to answer these questions. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been my pleasure.
Thank you.